I've been astonished to find that so few Christians ever actually read the Bible. They can quote the famous passages, but when I tell them what's in the Gospels, they're often confounded and amazed. The core of the teachings of Jesus is that we must learn to love perfectly and forgive completely. He says that when enough of us are doing that, we'll bring the kingdom of God on earth. This is what Jesus came to teach us. Loving and forgiving perfectly is required of us. So this is the mission that should be in the mind of every Christian every day. Are you surprised to hear that? Then please buy a red letter edition of any modern translation of the Bible and read the Gospels cover to cover for yourself. So how would things be different if every Christian put the gospel words of Jesus first? To try to answer that question, let's try a little thought experiment. Let's suppose that 2,000 years ago, God came to earth in the person of Jesus to teach us how to vanquish evil and bring about the kingdom of God on earth. This is what Jesus actually tells us he was doing. Now, let's just imagine he was right about his own mission. Now imagine that the people Jesus taught 2,000 years ago were superstitious primitives. Imagine they could not understand big concepts like perfect love, absolute forgiveness, and the very thought of God's kingdom overspreading the world. And then Jesus, their teacher and Messiah, actually died. Imagine the terror of that. And what do you make of it, you whose only reference point is ancient Judaism? Well, imagine you're a man named Paul who's trying to rally the Lord's panicked followers. You've got to do something, so you package those precious teachings in the only religion you know. You make them part of a new Jewish sect. You rally and inspire those earliest Christians, and thanks to you, dear precious Paul, the gospel teachings of Jesus survive. We should note that what you just have done is the very thing Jesus tells us not to do. He says, but no one puts a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, for the patch pulls away from the garment and a worse tear results. Nor do people put new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise the wineskins burst, the wine pours out, and the wineskins are ruined. But they put new wine into fresh wineskins, and both are preserved. That's Matthew 9:16-17. But this is an emergency. And if you, Paul, don't risk using that old wineskin, this new wine is going to be forever lost. Now let's imagine that for 2,000 years that wine, which is the teachings of Jesus, has been preserved inside your beautiful wineskin. Over time, people have come to love the wineskin so much they've forgotten about the wine, because the wineskin is so beautiful. By now, people have inherited it not just with those simple markings of the first century Judaism that you knew when you were Paul, but also with all the decorations added by all the cultures that have treasured it since. So now imagine that you, our friend Paul, you come back today and you say to all these people who love the wineskin, wait a minute, folks, I just packaged that new wine in that old wineskin to keep it safe. What I said is not important. All that first century Jewish stuff is not important. It's all just a wineskin. What always was important was the wine. Oh, okay. So imagine then that Christians are finally willing to open the wineskin and taste the wine. Imagine they love it so much that they're making that wine the center of their lives. They drink it, they cook with it, they urge it on their friends. Imagine they come to see that the wineskin really has been just packaging. What always was important was the wine. So they take those perfect teachings of Jesus and they share them with joy over all the earth. Just imagine it. What will happen then?